America's not real, look at this.
Walnuts. Those are real celebrities right here. And Tony Danza. Have you ever watched a movie and wondered if a place could actually be that majestic? There are many visitors here in the US and people that moved to the US from Europe, and they say, yes, America is exactly like the movies. You got massive 4th of July celebrations, you got big trucks, picture perfect suburban neighborhoods that they've only seen in the movies. We have high school stadiums for teenagers that are massive. They just cannot believe this. They've only seen this sort of thing in the movies. So they expect the high schools to have the jocks, the cheerleaders, the nerds. You know what I'm saying? Even the yellow school buses was something they thought was a myth. It's not, and we all know it. It's something we actually use every single day for the kids. I just think it's funny that they wondered if any of this was ever real.
Americans will never understand the desire of a European wanting to go to an American high school. I grew up with Disney Channel Nickelodeon shows, and I romanticize these shows so much. It was always my biggest dream to go to one of these high schools, and it was like typical life with yellow school buses and cheerleaders and football games and all of that. And by the way, they filmed the Disney Channel show at this specific school.
I am in the US right now, and I feel like I need to whisper to say this because I'm walking outside in the neighborhood and there's literally no one. I'm the only one walking outside, and I feel like I'm in a movie. This is everything that I've seen in movies, and I am right now in it. It actually looks like a movie set. It just doesn't look real. It's so calm. I'm not used to that, but it really looks like a movie. I feel like I'm in a movie.
That was a nice neighborhood though.
These 3 things in America make me feel like I'm living in a movie. So number 1 has got to be the school buses, the iconic yellow single level school buses that you see in the movies and the films and the sitcoms. They all real.
And in the street.
And it sounds ridiculous, but when you're not from America and you've only ever seen these buses on movies and on TV, it's really odd to see them in real life and know that they actually exist. When we first arrived in America, we were like, wow, there's one of the school buses that you see in the movies. And then we soon learned that, yeah, that's how the children get taken to school. Number 2, summer camps. So in the UK, during the school summer holidays, we don't have summer camps. We have like
Summer
play
camps.
schemes, which is where you can send your children and they play at a childcare provider for a few hours a day. They sometimes run them. They're not that big a deal. It's kind of parents in the UK have to survive the whole 6-7 weeks of the school summer holidays. They have to take time off work and so on. And we didn't even realise that summer camps were a real thing over here. We thought it was just something that was made up in the movies and the sitcoms. But no, they're actually a real thing. And when we first arrived in America, we went to some local parks and there were children that were at a summer camp, and they go from like 8 a.m. in the morning until 6 o'clock at night, and they do some fantastic activities with them. And some of them are actually residential as well, which it still shocks me because yes, I've seen it on films, I've seen it on Addams Family Values and all that kind of thing. But they do actually have residentials here, so they can go to a farm and stay on the farm. They can go to lakes and all these amazing places, and they go for like weeks at a time. Number 3 has got to be how crazy Americans go for seasonal events like Halloween and Christmas. I'm not the only British person that will say this, but when you see it in the movies and the sitcoms in the UK, you kind of think it's being exaggerated. Like,
it's not.
No, people don't really do up their houses like that. No, it's not really that magical. It is. I feel like I'm on a film set. We went to a village that has every single resident has done up their house to excess. Like, I dread to see their electric bills because it is insane.
Oh, yeah.
So this is why I feel like I'm living in a movie set all the time, because how America is portrayed on TV is actually quite accurate.
As someone who grew up in Europe, especially in Germany, there's something so cool about American suburbs, and I don't think Americans are realizing that. For me, this really feels like I'm walking through a movie set. And I know that doesn't make sense for a lot of people who grew up here, but I get so excited every time I see a yellow school bus, or like these long drives away with the basketball hoops, or even like these random sidewalks as I'm walking here right now.
Basketball hoops.
So please tell me I'm not the only one.
Oh my god, this is my dream. I'm touching it. I'm touching it.
Touch it.
Yeah. Look at it, Ralph.
Goals.
Oh my god, this is my dream.
I have a very serious question for all Americans. Is high school life exactly like they portray in the movies? Do you have all these various different groups, like the jocks, like the cheerleaders, the nerds, like, is that realistic? And also, do people sit on different tables and such, or is that just a movie thing? Also, does everyone come to the football games on a Thursday or a Friday night? Do you also have a prom queen and a prom king? Like, this is all stuff I need to know. Because honestly, high school is something I would have loved to experience as a Brit. So let me know in the comments if it's all true.
We did in the 90s.
If you want to see more adventures of me in America, drop me a follow.
This is huge. Just look. This is huge. So I'm here with Mr. David Preston Jr. and he's invited me over to the local basketball stadium. Would you say it's just the basketball stadium?
Basketball stadium, arena.
It's just the arena?
You all right?
I don't think you guys understand. The population of this town is 3,000 people around that. And this stadium.
And it's crazy. Wow.
Are you kidding me?
That's awesome.
This place is absolutely massive.
It's very nice.
Not to mention absolutely pristine. And the colour is kick-ass. Back in England, we don't do anything like this at all. We've got all of the technology, the big screens, all the basketball hoops, all of the counters to see all the scores and everything like that. Again, this is a very small town in Arkansas, and they have something as nice as this. Massive culture shock. Hell, let's go over there as well. They've even got all the awards in the cases and everything. Let's go take a look. I mean, just take a look at this. All of the awards.
Very nice.
And again,
that's pretty awesome. I love that.
This isn't a college. This is a high school.
It's high school,
A high school. Just look how proud they are to showcase all of these awards and have this magnificent stadium.
That's a really nice stadium for a high school.
Absolutely love America. I feel like I'm in a movie right now, as I was saying. I feel like I'm in Back to the Future or something like that. It's just
Back to the Future.
Insane. Just look. This is huge. You can't go wrong with the flag up there as well. Beautiful place. One more time, population of 3,000 people. This is a small town, and this is how much they take care.
It's really small.
Of the students. Absolutely beautiful.
Okay, so I'm at an American high school right now. I've never seen anything like this as an Englishman. It's so cool. Look at this.
There's a track.
Look, it's literally like a movie. I'm literally in a movie right now. Look at the stadium. The football goals. Come on, this is sick. I literally feel like I'm Back to the Future.
America's not real. Look at this.
Walnuts. Those are real celebrities right here. And Tony Danza.
There's honestly no way that this is normal. Look at this. Like, this is a high school stadium? What? Look at the amount of seats in this place. Do they actually fill these stadiums? Like, do people actually come for the games that actually fill these out? Because that's honestly mental. Like, that is crazy. Yeah. There is a ton of seats in here. If this was England, it would literally be like on a little park field.
The whole town is in on it.
Crazy.
The whole town shows up.
Get a lot of people in the comments saying, oh, why do British people and people outside of America say it always looks and feels like the movies? Because it does. Tell me this isn't the opening scene to like some suburban teen drama or even a horror. Look at this.
A horror
It's idyllic.
movie.
It's right out of the movies. Houses look all American.
Halloween.
Look, American House. Look at that. That is some movie opening. All you need are like 3 best friend boy 13-year-olds riding a bike, and most of them are called Brody, and then you got it. You got the opening of a film. I don't think a lot of Americans understand the cultural weight that this country, this Titan, carries in other countries around the world. I grew up in Britain, in the countryside, rolling countryside, exactly what you'd imagine Britain to be. And I grew up with Sum 41, Blink 182. I grew up with American Pie. I grew up with American actors and films and Leonardo DiCaprio. Like, the American culture is cemented in the British way of life and many other cultures around the world. So when we say it's like the movies, it's because it's like the movies.
Maybe the movie is just like real life, so they're trying to portray some real characters when they create movies. Yeah, I would say America is like the movies, some movies, because typically they do film in actual suburban areas and suburban neighborhoods. They'll film in actual high schools. So yeah, you're looking at the real thing, and the highways are huge. America is actually as seen on TV. Yep.
Because until you've been to America, you don't know what's real and what's not. All you can go on is what you've seen on the TV and in the movies. But let me try and explain. I'll try and set the scene. So you're a child, you're growing up in the UK, and it rains a lot. So you do spend a bit of time watching TV. You've got 4 channels. You get a couple of hours of cartoons in the morning, and then you get a couple of hours of cartoons after school. Then as you get older, you start hiring videos out from the local video store, and you're hiring out The Addams Family Values, Beethoven, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, Homeward Bound. And as a child, you think, good stuff. Wow, there's a country out there and it looks magical. The families are going on these amazing adventures. They are living in humongous houses. They've got yellow school buses. They have elaborate Christmases. At Halloween, the children are putting costumes on and running up and down the street, trick-or-treating. And as you get older, you start hiring out films like Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer. But then, cable comes to town. Once you have cable, you realise that there's 2 extra channels there that you can watch, Nickelodeon and Trouble. And you are going to be watching back-to-back American shows all weekend, or at least I did, and all week until the early hours. I would stay up late watching all these programs. Sister, Keenan and Kel, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Clarissa Explains It All.
So basically all the shows that we watched.
You know, The Teenage Witch, Saved by the Bell. And obviously you're a bit older, so you start to question whether what you're seeing on TV is reality. How are Tia and Tamara's parents affording that massive house? You start to wonder how the McAllisters could afford that mansion and then also fly the family to Paris for vacation. You start to wonder those things. You start to question those things. But nobody could vouch for whether they were real or not. In the 90s, hardly anybody in the UK went on holiday to America. They all went to Mallorca, Menorca, or the Canaries. There was hardly anybody that went to America who could come back and say, yeah, that's real, that's accurate. So when you get older and you can finally visit America, you realise, oh, that was accurate, that not so much. Even the school buses, the yellow school buses.
Yes,
so that
those
is
are
why
real.
Europeans are starstruck when they come to America. It feels like we're in the movies. It feels like everything that we've grown up watching is accurate in a lot of cases, not everything, but a lot of the stuff is accurate.
Not everything, but I feel like a lot of things are pretty accurate. I mean, definitely the buses. The high schools are huge. A lot of it is accurate because a lot of it is based on real life in America.
Honestly, I don't think that Americans realize how much Europeans are impacted by American television. All I ever wanted is being at a teenage party at like these massive houses, drink from these red cups, or do my shopping in a paper bag, like not a plastic bag, but like a paper bag. Go shopping at Tiffany's. I always wanted to be a cheerleader. Guys probably always wanted to be one of these football players. And oh my God, these lockers that you guys have at school.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, nowadays it's just
super
like,
cool.
You know, drinking oat milk lattes from like these iced cups. Outing at basketball games like one more time. Working from these amazing midtown offices, you know, on the like the, I don't know, 50th floor or something. And then also having your own office when you're like 25. That's at least what they show in the films. Honestly, the list goes on and on. And honestly, I love it.
Okay, so you come to America and you realize that everything is the way you saw it in the movies. Like
almost
yellow
everything,
school buses, like big suburban houses with mailboxes out front and newspapers on the driveway. Like massive grocery stores with entire aisles with cereal or chips. And then sprinklers going
Sprinklers?
off unexpectedly
Oh, yeah.
while you're parking your car after going to one of the Starbucks drive-thrus.
See, this is stuff that we don't even think about.
And yes, drive-thrus are everywhere here.
You know, America is like a movie for me. There's all the time a guy driving around in his truck the size of my apartment with flag flying around, like going 4 miles an hour for no reason. Then there's a woman going power walking with like a all pink outfit with a gallon of water, like she's training for the Olympics. Then there is a squirrel looking at me, making direct eye contact with me. I'm like, what the is the plan of the squirrel?
I never watched that movie.
American people won't understand this video, yeah? But anybody who's from outside of America or Ireland or whatever, yeah? It's actually so goated walking around here and actually experiencing this first time. Bro, the school buses they get picked up on, that is real, bro. They actually go to school on a school bus, bro. Look at this street, bro. It's the most Americanized street I've ever seen in my life. I'm just floating around. Bro, this shit is cool. Just walk around. Being in America is actually goated. Because every single movie, every single TV show, every influencer, YouTuber, they all are in America doing it. And actually getting to come here from someone outside of the country and experience it. It's just funny out. Like, why is there a fire hydrant? Like, why is that there? I thought that was just for background effect. I don't know. That's actually real. This place actually makes you realise how Ireland is. I can't lie. This place is 20 times better. There's so much to do here. Bro, when you're with your friends in Ireland, you're like, I don't want to go out. There's nothing to do. You're just like, what we do. Bro, over here you can do anything. Go to any of the parks. Bro, you can get the best food possible. Bro, Top Golf. That is go. There's just so much endless possibilities over here compared to being in Ireland. It actually makes you realise how depressing that place is. Anybody from America is going to watch this video and be like, what the f is this going on about? But anybody outside of America is going to understand, bro. It's like being in a dream or something. Bro, I watch all of this as a kid and being here for the first time, it's just funny.
Oh man, just like how you see in the movies, the American neighborhoods, it's all the same. Everything, literally everything you see on the movies is literally the same in person. It's absolutely mad out here. It's really mad. Every house has the American flag outside of it. Every house has them big massive garages, and throughout the day they have the garages open. It's literally mad. Everybody needs to experience America once in their life. Trust me, because everything you see on the movies and all that stuff is literally the same in person. It's absolutely mad. Come on, literally get yourself to America once in your life. Do the soccer program, do anything you can to get here, because trust me, it's crazy. And obviously you guys know I love coaching and I love working with kids and I love just all that sort of stuff. So this soccer program with me that I'm doing in America is perfect. I absolutely love it, boys. So yeah, come on, get to America. It's absolutely mad and the people are absolutely lovely and friendly. So yeah, come on. Like, it's just mad. Everyone has the flags out. Everyone just, it's just a community. Like every neighborhood is just, it's just crazy, boys. Trust me, you all need to get out here one time. It's a beautiful place, man.
I'm a Brit living in America, and these are the biggest culture shocks that I found living in the US. Those things first, the mailboxes. The mailboxes here really are like the movies. They're kind of just outside your house. You don't have a letterbox. And also, people do love an American flag. You don't really see anybody in the UK put a British flag outside their house, but here it's more normal to have a flag outside your house than not. Most houses in the UK, I would say, are townhouses or semi-detached houses. I grew up in that typical brick semi-detached house, where here most houses are just normal detached houses. This is something that I definitely don't think we have in the UK, but fire hydrants. We have a fire hydrant on every corner in our neighbourhood, and I think in any neighbourhood. They look like this, and it's just here, obviously, in case there's a fire. I also find here in the US, people take a lot of pride in their home. Now, I'm not saying people don't in the UK, but look, people love to garden. They love to maintain the grass outside their house. Everything has to look perfect. Where I find in the UK, we're not as bothered about that. I've had a lot of comments saying all the houses here look exactly the same. While they definitely do look similar in some aspects, I also find they look more different than houses in the UK. Most single family homes here in the US will have a 2-car garage, which again, in the UK, if you have a garage, most of the time it's definitely not a 2-car garage. I mean, the garage that we had growing up, I don't even know if you could fit a car in there, but here, most garages you can fit 2 cars in.
These are American things that felt like the movies to me as an Aussie living in America. Okay, first we have high schools, specifically the hallways, how they're like really long and they have the lockers along both sides. That is exactly like the movies. I can just picture like the school pushing the nerd up against the locker and being like, why'd you freak? Yeah, that's exactly like the movies. Next, we got your neighborhoods, just like your typical American neighborhood. Looks exactly like the movies. Makes sense, because movies are filmed in America, but it's just weird to see. All the houses look the same, everything's so clean, which is good, but definitely reminds me of the movies. And then we got yellow school buses. I touched on this in a past video, but it's exactly like the movies. The movie I think of is Grown Ups 2, when I say yellow school bus. It was quite funny in that movie, some of the scenes on that bus, so reminds me of that.
This is awesome. I hope they continue to explore the USA, enjoy everything you thought was a movie, but it's actually reality. And watching this is a fun reminder that just regular things we take for granted can actually feel unforgettable to someone experiencing it for the first time. That's what I love about it. From wide open roads to friendly conversations with strangers, it is amazing how visitors leave here saying, wow, it's just like the movies. Let me know, what part of America do you think feels like an actual movie? I don't know, maybe that's a stupid question, but for me, when I was growing up in grade school, I watched a lot of movies from high school. So I watched like a lot of high school movies and TV shows. And for me, it was a pep rally. And, you know, I became a cheerleader. It was like a lifetime achievement that I wanted. And then to cheer at the pep rally was like, I felt like I was in a movie. It was like, yes, I have made it. Anyway, let me know what you think down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.